Challenger RT. So speaking of interests of mine, another one that I did not mention, at least I do not believe I mentioned it in the previous video, are guns. I do have an interest in those as well, and that's where we are at today. The Charlotte gun show at the Conference Expo Center. See if we find something interesting. Should be a good day. This piece right here is interesting to me. Old flintlock pistol. It's in pretty solid condition considering. I mean, you know.
It looks like it's got all the original pins and everything to it, too.
I mean, think about how old that pistol is to the condition it is. That's pretty damn solid.
You know it.
Just look at these things. That one down there's the one down here on the bottom. It's a 50 cal.
It's a heck barrel, too.
It's a 50 cal. It's like basically an elephant gun.
Yeah.
Watch out, man, with touching and stuff. But and then you got a blunderbuss over here. The blunderbuss.
I like that blunderbuss.
Hell's that?
Cameron. I think I have found my next vehicle of choice. Now, I know you're gonna think, but you're crazy. I'm not crazy. That's crazy. That's awesome, and that's crazy at the same time. You can tell where they tread. Alright, so I want to preface what I'm going to be doing today. First, I'm cleaning off the hood and the trunk and the ceiling. All three of those things are getting a quick kind of rundown, quick wash off. Then I'm going to buff them up, get them nice and kind of pretty again, get the fine scratches out of it best I can. But that's not all. After I get all that taken care of, I will be wrapping said areas. Now, I haven't entirely decided yet. I have a few options in mind as to how I want to wrap them. But I'll be deciding that after a little while. But I already have the wrap which I'm going to be using. So I will be wrapping it after I get all that done. So, yeah. Alright, so sometimes when you do stuff like this, you run across things that you didn't otherwise notice before. I'm glad that I will be, in fact... so I just dropped my microfiber towel, but you notice things that you didn't otherwise notice. I just noticed there's, and you can probably see it pretty clearly on camera, there's a really bad, like, straight line scuff. I don't even know where that could have came from. I think I can fix it though. I think it'll be good. I think it'll be alright amongst everything else. And again, this is kind of a quick wipe down and sort of prep type thing. Also, these will need to come out, which I'm pretty sure if I can just get like a simple little prying tool under those, they should just pop right out. Alright, another thing. I'm going to take the spoiler off of here, the spoiler, off of the trunk as well to make it easier to wrap. So I decided I'm not going to bother with the whole spoiler removal because for this model, it appears to be a lot more involved than it was with the earlier year models of the more modern Challengers. So in other words, it's not just a couple of bolts and some 3M tape like I saw in some videos. So what we are dealing with is a completely different type of fantastical beast there, and I'm not prepared for all that. Basically, it looks like what I'm going to have to do is remove the whole backlight panel to get to some bolts that are under here, like roughly, I want to say like roughly here on either side, and there might be more than that, so I'm not sure. I don't want to go fucking with this and fuck something up real bad, so I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna bother with removing the spoiler. I'll just try to wrap around it. I'll probably have to do that in a couple of pieces and try to make it look good and blended. We'll figure it out. It'll be all right though. So when you don't use your engine cover your engine anymore, because you found out that it actually stays a lot cooler under the hood without it, you use it as a detailing basket. Pro tip. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take care of this little marring line here. Now it shouldn't be too big of an issue. I should be able to kind of lightly kind of send it out, and it should buff out just fine. So it shouldn't be a very big issue at all. I have moved the Challenger out here in the sunlight so that way I can actually see what in the ever-living hell I'm doing. You know, because if I can't see the scratches I'm removing, then they're not going to get removed, are they? So we're going to, I guess, take care of that. I ended up stopping myself where I went completely into dumbass mode, and I just went ahead and used my putty knife, popped that right into there, and kind of pushed up. The motion, that's kind of the motion where you kind of push in, you know, like push in under it and pop it up, and it should come right out without breaking anything on the newer models. The wrap, though, will be here shortly. My mom is carting it over here to me, and you guys will get to see what I chose for the wrap. Now it's kind of like I found this particular one after I did the interior. Otherwise I would have did the interior in this wrap as well, but maybe later. But right now I'm definitely going to do the outside. I've decided I'm going to do the full hood. I'm not going to do the stripes. Just too much precision for me at this particular moment. I just want to just do it. I want to do the damn thing and do it. So without further ado, right here, tall as I am just about, this is the wrap that I have selected. Now, I love it. Now, not everyone might, but And it's not going to translate too well on camera, I don't think, but look at that. Just look at that. It's kind of like a carbon fiber look, but depending where you look at it from, much like the Jazz Blue paint on the car itself, this kind of, depending where you look at it from, what angle the light hits it, you kind of get different colors, like a purple, sort of a green, sort of a blue. It's very peacocky. I think it's going to look damn good on this car, especially in well, I guess you could call it contrast with the paint. So I mean, you know, and you can see why I'm in, you know, or was in debate whether or not I want to do stripes with it or just a full wrap. I think I'm just going to go with full straight on, right across the top. Oh, also, guys, the scuff that I was talking about earlier, yeah, you can't really see it unless you really get up on it and try to find it. Like, you'd have to know it was there to really find it. I feel like this is one of my more successful jobs with it, but you know, at certain angles you'll see it, but it won't translate too well on camera at all. And that's fine and dandy, because that is the goal, is to not see it. Anyway, it is time to, well, it isn't quite time. I have a couple more things to clean up, but then it'll be time to wrap. So for you guys, it's wrap time. For me, it's clean time, and then get the wrap in a rush time. All right, so you can tell the day is kind of winding out here, and I know it's been a very heavily time-lapse sort of vlog, and there wasn't, you know, a lot of the gun show or anything, but I was just trying to enjoy that thing. I didn't feel like there was really much to, there was a lot there, but there wasn't much for me to film, if that makes sense. And then this here, of course, there's not much to really do other than time lapses with this, but you'll see also we're not finished. Matter of fact, we ended up restarting on this because there was a lot of shit that fucked up on the original one. Like, we found several areas where it started to like poke through holes and all that. So, and then it was off center over here. We didn't have enough to cover the hood, you know. So that's this piece over here. We can save probably about half of it. Anyway, long story short is that we restarted, and so far we've done as much, if not a little bit more, believe it or not, than we managed to do in 3 hours, because we are amateur as shit at this. But you know, I don't think really this looks bad so far for an amateur job at all. I mean, there's like little specks of dirt that managed to crawl their way under it. I don't have a garage to do this shit in or anything, so I guess I could have done it under the carport, but
Still, it would have been debris.
but we've been having you know, traffic up and down the road all day, so it's been impossible to try and I did wipe it down beforehand, but it's kind of impossible on a dirt road to kind of deal with this shit. Anyway, I will finish this up sometime, maybe off camera. You guys will see this. I will post this shit on the Instagram, which, by the way, speaking of which, that's linked down in the description below with my other social media. Feel free to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of my videos coming up soon, which I do intend on buying one modification for under the hood very briefly. It's not a power adder, but it's a classic edition. Anyway, subscribe to see that when it comes up. Hit the like button if you like the video. And turn on notifications for what those are worth. And I'll see you in the passenger seat next ride.